Yo, what's up? Y'all in another episode of the Bar Wit Beast. Yo, thank y'all for joining us. Y'all know what it is. Today, I'm joined by the lovely songwriter and songstress, Saliyah Itoka.
Yes.
Oh, I've been working on your name all day.
Okay.
You ain't gotta worry about that. I've been working on that all day. I wasn't gonna mess that up.
I appreciate you.
And I listened to you saying it over and over.
Okay.
So
I appreciate that.
So I gotta start here, cause I'm originally from Queens. I seen somewhere you from Queens. I know you left at an early age, but what part were you from?
Jamaica, Springfield Gardens area.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I'm from Southside Jamaica.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm from right outside JFK.
Nice.
Yep. So what brought you up here? What brought you and your family up here?
I completely don't know, but I know that they just wanted to get out and start something new. So we left when I was in I want to say second grade, and we moved up here. I've been here ever since.
Okay. How have you been adjusting to it? How's that been?
I'ma always be a Queens girl at heart, only because it's slow out here. I've noticed that, but it's a good pace. I made a couple friends. You know, it's cool.
So I see you said you started writing poetry in elementary school.
Mhm.
How was it to transition from writing poetry into songwriting? Like, is it a big adjustment to go from?
I wouldn't say that, only because when I started writing, you know how when forgive me if they still have it now though, but whenever they had the little packets in the CD that show the credits,
Yep.
I will focus on the lyrics. So I was always somebody who basically was listening to it and reading it at the same time.
Yep.
And seeing how they wrote it and how they broke it up.
Copy.
So that's how I started really getting into songwriting.
No, I remember them days. I remember they used to have all the lyrics and stuff in the back of the credits, and you couldn't wait to get an album just to go looking into that. I remember those days.
And what I would do also is I would rewrite it myself so I could visually see it, like how I would write it, and I'll break it up too.
No, that's dope.
So
that's dope. Who are some people that inspired you to start singing?
I'm a '90s baby.
Talk to me.
Tony Braxton, Anita Baker.
Let's go.
Old Mariah Carey, TLC.
No, it's dope that you say that, because now even your sound is real old school R&B. It's not. I don't not to diss no other forms of art because it's all art, but it's not this new age overly auto tune Nah, you're really singing R&B and it's dope. It's definitely dope to hear.
Thank you.
What have been some of your biggest obstacles trying to get into this whole music industry and bust into this business?
Trying to be authentic, trying to set myself apart from everybody else, because in my mind I was never really the popular person. I was the underdog in a lot of situations. Everyone knew I sang, but it was would she ever try it? And it was just too many people who were asking me yo, are you gonna put a project out or just do music and record? And I was like, one day. And then it was just you know what, let me just try it and see. And I was like, all right, people starting to like it and fuck with it, and I'm like, all right, let's see where we can take this. Copy.
And it's dope that you said that, because I was wondering, in the industry where so many people have opinions, and with social media, so many people can reach you virtually. How do you stay grounded in your sound? How do you stick to the sound that you know you want to do?
I remind myself how I started, and how what shifted in me, that there's a reason why you wanted to do this, to prove something to yourself, to other people too, to prove them wrong too, but also proving people I could really do this. There's a way that I want to go about doing this. As far as doing it, I'll try what everybody else is doing, but I know where I want to go.
Understood.
And even if I try to do what they do, I could probably do it in a different way than they would ever think about doing it.
See that. So you currently have 2 projects out, 7 and Virgo.
You did your homework. I'm
impressed.
Man,
don't play with me.
I'm impressed. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Don't play with me.
I'm impressed. I'll drink to that. I'm not even gonna hold you.
It's the reason you fuck with the mob.
Right? I'm like, shit.
You know what I mean?
I'm impressed.
Well, I know that William Blanchard did the production on the first album.
Yes, he did.
Who did you work with on the second one?
On the second one, I worked with Mike Banks. All the songs on the project were done by him except for one. Me First was done by Money Montage. Shout out to him. But I recorded with John C. Magic over at Oakwood Studios when I did that project.
Okay. All right, without giving away too much secrets.
Okay.
Like, what do you do to get into your zone when you're ready to get into like that album mode? When you're ready to.
It comes from the beats normally. Like once I start. My favorite artists I listen to the artists that I'm currently like that are in my playlist right now and kind of see what sounds that they're doing.
Don't tell us that yet because I got that question coming.
Okay, we here. But yeah, I mean I smoke a little bit, I drink a little bit, I free write, so I just whatever comes to my mind, listen to some YouTube beats just to see what flows I could do or what type of like words I could put together and phrases, and it goes from there.
Okay. One song. Give me one song from your catalog that if you had to give a new listener this song, it would give them an idea of what type of artist you are.
It's funny because it's not fully done yet, and I'm probably not gonna release it until it's gonna be for the album, which I'm probably gonna drop like later this year.
Okay.
It's not done yet, but Flower Bomb is the name of it.
Okay.
And that's yeah. I'm gonna.
So that's coming later this year.
That's coming later this year.
On the next project.
Yes, definitely.
Y'all gonna have to wait for that one. Yeah. So let's go there. What do you listen to? What's in your playlist? Who are you listening to?
It's a mixture. It's a mix with genres too. So depending on my mood. Kehlani for one, that's my favorite artist.
Dope artist.
Stupid.
Dope artist.
Kehlani, listen to The Weeknd, listen to Miguel, listen to Money Long. Wow. It's a lot. Then depending if I don't want to go in that specific mode, if I just want to listen to music that maybe I just need a new energy around me. I listen to jazz. I'm a musical theater head, so when I was in school, I was in the choir and band and all that, so I listen to musical theater. I'll even go as far as just putting on like some old school R&B, old school Brandy, Tamia, Alicia Keys. So, yeah.
I gotta know, because you naming some good names, so I got a question for you.
Okay.
What's your fantasy feature? You get anybody on the track, no obstacles, no red tape. You can pick up your phone, get anybody on the phone. Who's your fantasy feature?
I'm gonna give you two, only because I know Kehlani for one. Kehlani for one, and if I really like going back to like my roots, my fantasy feature, Tony Braxton.
Oh shit!
That would make I could die tomorrow if I have a feature with that woman. I will be content for the rest of my life.
Nah, that's dope.
Yes.
So in the music realm, what part of the phase do you enjoy most? The writing, the recording, the performing? Like, what part of it do you find the most entertaining to yourself?
Writing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, once I get it down to what it's supposed to be harmonically and actually recording that shit, I surprise myself every time.
Yeah, I was sitting here all morning with you on shuffle on my Spotify.
Appreciate y'all.
Nah, dope. So speaking of features, since we was talking features, right? Yo, tell me about this all-star team of artists that you a part of.
Hard to Kill.
Yeah.
Pesci Kruger.
Talk to me.
ADG.
Yeah. And don't think I want you to see that I wrote that. Like that ain't. I didn't say that because he's sitting here. I didn't say that because he's sitting here.
I'm really fucking impressed right now. I really am.
Talk to me now.
Nah, I am. That's a fact. You did your homework and I appreciate you.
That should be the name, bro. So
yes.
With a Y, you
That's
heard?
a fact.
You know, that's one of my hashtags.
That's a
How
merch.
nice it is. That's one like those one of my hashtags.
I see merch with that. That's a fact.
Yeah. Yeah. So talk to me. Hard to Kill. How did that come about? How did you meet these artists? How did you?
We gotta go back.
Let's
to
go.
That. So
We got time.
When I was
Let's go.
so I started taking this seriously back in 2015. So I did a showcase. I got asked to do a showcase at the Linda.
I was there.
And
my wife loved you.
Oh, she did.
Yep, I was there with my wife.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Yep.
And I performed. And I remember in one of my songs, 80 had screamed something out, and it was hilarious though. I don't remember exactly what it was, but then they performed. Pesci was 80, and I think it was like 3 other dudes, and I was like, are they headlining the show? It was fire though. And then after that, they had a little break. I went over to them and said, y'all did good, like y'all did great. They said the same thing to me. They tagged me in posts after the show. Me and Petra were supposed to do something years ago, but it was the timing on my end. I'll say, it didn't work out for me. Then
I forgot about that.
and then 80 came out last year, right? He came home last year, right?
Was it yeah. No,
2020. 2020. All right.
Almost 2 years. Yeah.
All right. So 2020, I get a DM from 80. Yo, I want to do a song with you, and I ain't heard from this nigga in a minute because I followed them on Instagram and Facebook and all that. So I was like, oh shit, you home now? So then I said, I bet what kind of vibe you want. He said a Janae Aiko and Drake type. I said, bet. We lit. Searched on YouTube for some beats. I think I sent him 3 beats. He liked the first one, which I did too. Contacted the guy, bought the beat. Let's go. Then he invited me to one of his Past the Aux events. And I went in there, did my thing, sang my music, played my music. Was like, yo, got the beat, whatever, let's work. That's when linked back up with Pesci, started working with them. That song, we got mad music together.
Bro, Past the Auction was fire.
That shit really was though. And yeah, that's how I started working with them. And then one day, I remember me and 80 were having a conversation. And he had said something like, you need a family type shit. Like something along those lines. Yeah. And it stuck with me. I don't know why. It just kind of stuck me. I was like, fuck. And then one day he had called me and was like, yo, let's talk. So we talked and he was like, how you feel about being part of Hard to Kill? I'm like, I don't really do teams. Like, he's like, nah, this ain't a team though. This a family type shit. Like, this ain't no bullshit. And I was like, I've been doing songs with y'all, I've been working with y'all, I like y'all vibe, y'all have invited me out to stuff, and we've kicked it. And I'm like, all right, so I was like, let's go. Yeah. That's been what, December 2020? Yeah.
And how's it been?
The rest is history. Those are the bros.
How's it been?
Those are the bros.
Nah,
the music we got in the tuck is crazy.
I can't even imagine. And even beyond that, some of the conversations, just to be a fly on the wall. You know what I mean? I believe you. Yeah. You know what I mean? No, I believe you. I believe you. But I'm always looking forward to the music. I follow all of y'all individually, and I think it's gonna.
That's our Ashanti.
That's also one of my favorite artists too. I love her.
Say that. Shout out to Pesh for that.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Pesh, man.
Yo, I don't know if this is a question per se or me just commending you. Well, I will form it as a question. So for me, I was actually just telling my friend that was here earlier that being outspoken and being social is a new thing to me. I was an introvert, so much so that they made me go to psychiatrists and stuff to find out why I wasn't speaking, why I wasn't really talking about my issues of saying nothing to nobody. Like, I was keeping everything to myself. So even now, like when I do interviews and stuff, I don't really listen back to them. I don't really like to hear and see myself too much. I know that you have your speech impediment. I know you have your stutter. Oh, you knew I was going in. Yeah, you knew this where I was going. You see the setup, you see the law.
This is true. I like this.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like just how do you mentally put yourself in a place to overcome that and still be in the limelight, still do things like this interview, still want to be on the stage and perform? And
I remember I was working with somebody, and I remember this was back in high school. He said that I could never see you doing an interview because you would stutter throughout the entire thing.
And look what you did.
And I thought it was funny. Until I think I had my first interview, I want to say it was like 2018. It was on the radio. And I laughed. Because I always kept that in the back of my mind. I'm like, okay. And we're still here years later. So
you just always use that as motivation.
Yeah, like at first, like when I was in school, it used to bother me, but now it's like.
Like, sis, I'm gonna say one thing. I always wonder, you never stutter when you perform, bro.
And
Or you
what's
make
funny?
it look smooth. I don't know what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can't even lie, bro. You got that art mastered, bro.
Appreciate you.
But I heard Dragon say that years ago. Like Dragon stutters when he talk, but when he rap, he don't. And I don't know.
Maybe it's different
Mental
focus
difference.
or something.
Maybe.
For me, I can say this for myself, is because I started singing before I could talk. So that's why I'm so comfortable singing in front of people. I get nervous, yes, but I get so once I'm there,
Showtime.
yeah. And then afterwards, if we start talking and if it come out, I got to a point where I was like, if you hear it, then okay. If you've never experienced someone who has it and never really sat back and just let them talk, whether they're excited or sad or they just run in their mouth because they want to get shit out. If you never sat and seen them in that moment where they get stuck and they need that time, then you don't know.
All right, so you mentioned you got a new project that's coming out later this year. Talk to me about the project. Like, what's the process like of putting it together? Who else are we going to hear on it?
In My Feelings, yes. That's the name of the project.
Yo, if y'all don't get the gist, yo, I don't know. If y'all ain't been listening, talking about, go listen to these albums. You know what I mean? She's a lady, and she's developing her true fan base, so I'm not going to ask her about what's going on in her personal life, but go listen to these albums. She's telling you, all right. In My Feelings, coming out later this year. You know what I mean? I might have to do a dropping son on the album, right?
Virgo out now.
Yeah.
So In My Feelings, yes. So most of these. So shout out to Claremont. He produced the entire project.
Okay.
Follow him, please do. He did every single track. Recorded with Merck, Foster House. Working with Jake, the writer, on just putting everything together, helping me with harmonies, and just making sure everything is tight and clean. This project has been so fucking therapeutic for me, in the most best way possible.
Talk to me.
Yeah, just my sound. The sound is different. How just melodically things are different. Like it was a healing process for me in a sense with this project. I got Quaddy Rouse on the project. I got 4 in the Morning on the project. Really just, it's some great shit that's about to be released, and yeah, it's about to be some great
looking
shit.
forward to that. So you mentioned something. So being a writer, what's your feeling on the ghostwriting that goes on in the business?
That's how you want to make your money, but don't take that away from artists who really do write their shit and take pride in that shit. Like I've always said, I write my own shit. If I get input, I'll give you credit.
Copy.
That's obviously, if you want to write for me, I appreciate it. Like that's, but having somebody write for me, like, it sounds weird, but then it's like, you know what? Let me give it a chance. I actually have someone who had contacted me wanting to do a whole EP, and I'm just like, we gonna try this, and I've offered to write for other people too, but I gotta have the emotion behind that to really tap into that if you're gonna write for me. But and if you don't write your own shit, then just say that.
That's where
Just
I'm
be
at. Like,
honest,
be
like,
honest, be upfront.
Just
with
be
it.
honest. If you sing or if you say that you have trouble writing your stuff or you have people help you write, excuse me, that's cool. Say that, but if you don't write your own shit, don't pass it off like you do. And then when it comes to interviews and shit, and people really calling you out on shit, like you can't give a straight answer.
Nope, I agree.
Like me, I write my own shit.
Transparent. I already know. That's why I asked.
I write my
you.
own shit, and if I have help, I will give you credit. Absolutely.
Copy. So I see on all three of your projects so far, you kind of stuck with one producer throughout the entire project.
Mm-hmm.
Does that help you kind of stay in a certain zone?
I wouldn't say that, only because like I work with so many different people, and just whatever vibe I was getting from their beats at that time, that was what I ran with.
Copy.
And there's so much more heat in the tuck with other people that I'm just like, you know what? When that time comes, y'all gonna get flowers too. It's gonna be, pushed out too. But just by hearing what they got and saying, okay, let me try this, or even if it's with multiple producers, I'll mix it. If anything, but it just so happened that this one played out with one per project.
Got you. All right, well, let the people know where they can find you, where they can listen to your music.
Saliyah Itoka on all platforms: Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, Tidal, iHeart, all of that shit. Saliyah Itoka on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at SALIYAH_ITOKA. Yeah.
Yo, go follow her, go listen to it. If you haven't been listening to it, you bugging. The whole Hard to Kill team is crazy.
We here.
Once again,
Tap
I appreciate you for sitting here with me. Shout out to my clothes sponsors, So Albany Clothing. Yo, this has been another episode at the Bar Wit Beast. Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
That was fire. That was fire.
Thank you.